Okay, right. So today I want to speak to you guys about how to lose belly fat. Okay. Right, so some of you who are on my newsletter, you may have already received my email from today talking about, how to lose your belly fat. And this is a topic that I, have been actually been regurgitating. I've been repeating many times to some of you individually or collectively. But I just thought that this is a very important thing. It's an important topic that a lot of you guys need to know and need to kind of drill it into your subconscious so that you can actually practice. You can actually make the make the lifestyle adjustment accordingly, right? If you feel like this is some kind of like energy and there's something stuck there, okay, right? So firstly, I do want everyone to know that when we're talking about belly fat, it's not just like the muffin top that you see sticking out of your jeans. It's not just something that you feel that you can grab, right? Because most of the time when we talk about belly fat, we're referring to the extra meat that we can grab, the love handle that's sitting around our midsection, sitting around our abdominal area, okay? But I also want you guys to know that, when we're talking about belly fat, there are two types of belly fat, okay? Two types, actually. One is called the subcutaneous fat. Subcutaneous fat is basically the fat that sits underneath our skin, okay? Like the fat that you can pinch, okay? A lot of times you pinch yourself, you feel like, oh my God, I got so much fat. Okay, that is the subcutaneous fat, sits under the skin, okay? Now, the second type is called the visceral fat, okay? Now, visceral fat is the one that I actually concerned about the most for a lot of you, because visceral fat is a lifestyle fat. Okay, it is the fat that sits around your internal organs. It's also in your abdominal area. Like it sits around your liver, around your pancreas, around your intestines. So basically all your organs around your abdomen area, that's where the visceral fat is sitting at. It's inside, so you cannot see it, you cannot feel it. It's actually inside around your organs. Now, a lot of times, when people accumulate belly fat, like excessive, I'm talking about excessive belly fat, where you can actually visibly notice that, your belly is growing bigger, it's protruding, or maybe it's actually the shape is changing like disproportionately, okay? It can be due to a few things. But here I want to talk about 4 things, okay? So listen very carefully, take notes. If this is like an area of concern of yours, okay? If you notice that your belly area, your abdomen area has been growing quite intensively, say if you're not pregnant, right? But if it's been growing and if it's already kind of coming to awareness and concern, then we really need to look at these 4 things, okay? Firstly, stress. Okay, are you managing your stress? Okay, are you being mindful of how busy, how stressful your day-to-day work is? Okay, why am I talking about stress? I know some of you might roll your eyes and go, oh, there she is again. She talks about stress all the time, but I don't know what to do, right? I don't know what to do with my stress. I don't think it has anything to do with it. Stress has everything to do with your body's fat distribution. It has everything to do with how your body stores fat or utilizes fat. Because basically, without going into all the scientific details, when your body is stressed, okay, it definitely increases your stress hormone production, which is called cortisol. Okay, so when your cortisol level is high, then cortisol actually encourages your body to store fat. Okay, but particularly it stores fat in your midsection, right? That is just how the hormone works. Okay, so a lot of times, there was one time I talked about adrenal. I don't know if anyone remember a few weeks ago, I posted something about adrenal fatigue, right? So, the adrenal gland is actually sitting at the abdomen area. So, when you're stressed, your adrenal gland, obviously, gets affected. And obviously, that's where your body fat is stored, right? So it's actually very easy to identify. Like if you look at those people that are most stressed, right? Maybe even, maybe a self-reflection as well. You can actually have to think about how stressed, how is your lifestyle, right? How is your mind? Are you feeling ease most of the time? Or are you always anxious and are you always, stressed about things, right? So your stress level basically determines your body, yeah, it determines the shape and also, you know, the health condition of your body, right? So the stress is directly related to your fat storage. Okay, and of course, the less stressed you are, right, the less your fat will get stored in the abdomen area. And, you know, healthily and proportionally, as you know, woman or man, your fat should be stored, you know, in other parts evenly. For example, for a lot of us women, the fat, you know, would be stored in the hips area, right? So and for men, and a lot of times I notice a lot of men do have quite a significantly protruding stomach, and that is due to stress and also lifestyle. Okay, so that is my next point. So first point is stress, okay, and the second point is lifestyle. Lifestyle, I'm referring to your choice of food, your choice of body movement, right? And for a lot of like men and women, both men and women, as I mentioned before, the second type of belly fat is called the visceral fat, right? So that is when, you know, you're not watching, you know, what you eat, a high consumption of processed food, high consumption of processed food, fast food, you know, high cholesterol, high sugar, you know, synthetic food can actually cause, you know, the accumulation of fat that's stored around your organs, right? So when that is getting too accumulated, like accumulated so much, obviously your stomach protrudes because it protrudes from the inside. Okay, it's not like the fat that just sits on top of your organs, or like it sits underneath your skin and it accumulates more and more. Of course, that body fat percentage increases too, but what's more dangerous is, you know, due to, you know, the unhealthy choice of diet, you know, the visceral fat underneath inside the organs can actually accumulate, and when it accumulates so much, it just protrudes. Okay, so I've seen that happening in a lot of like men and also women who are overweight or obese. Okay, so like when I talk about, you know, people's shapes or weight, right, I also want to keep in mind that, you know, there is like a range of healthy weight, right? Despite the fact that, you know, I'm all about body positivity, body confidence, embracing the shape and body you are, but also at the same time, I do highly encourage everybody to watch out for the health signals and understand, have the knowledge of knowing, you know, what is, you know, when is it enough, right? You can celebrate your body shape, of course, you can celebrate, you know, who you are, but also at the same time, you know, if you ignore your health and just keep on eating or keep on just being, you know, whatever you are, right? You know, carrying excessive body weight, excessive as in excessive weight that actually, or body fat that's actually already damaging and affecting your physiological functions, your mental functions, and day-to-day lifestyle, then that's actually kind of like, you know, a concern that we have to look at. Okay, so that is you know, my point here. Okay, so your choice of food is very important. Okay, that is why we're always talking about healthy nutrition here, right? And also your body movement is very important too. Like the longer you're spending on sitting down, not really moving your body, I'm not talking about you have to throw yourself into a very strict like workout routine. But if you're not able to do that, no problems. But I will also want you to prioritize, you know, the amount of time that you're moving your body, like, you know, doing housework or playing with your kids, or you know, running errands and walking around, you know, just like your non-exercise type of daily activities. Those movements are also very important for your body. Okay, and that can actually, when you're doing it well, that can actually prevent the accumulation of your visceral fat. Okay, so this is the second point. Now, the third point, okay, this one is something that a lot of people don't talk about, but it has everything to do with your mind, your mindset, your emotions. Because I'll make another episode talking about this. Basically, we have 7 energy wheels in our body. Those of you who practice yoga, you will know about chakras, the energy wheels. We have 7 of them here. Okay, now the chakra that's sitting in the stomach, we call it the solar plexus, and this chakra is usually, okay, governing. When this chakra is in balance, that means we're feeling secure, we're feeling confident, we're feeling ambitious, and we're feeling like, you know, basically we're feeling good and strong. Okay, so when this chakra is actually out of balance, that is usually when we have too much personal traumas, too much negative energies and negative emotions, right? And we'll experience that. But when that negative emotions and the traumas have accumulated too much, they actually get stored inside our body, like physically. Some of you may not really be familiar with this kind of concept. It's more like a metaphysical concept that your emotions can actually affect your body, your physical body. And also when you have stored a lot of certain emotions in your body, they actually physically get stored in your physical body as well. Okay, so the place where your negative emotions and your trauma get stored is in your abdomen area. Okay, so those of you, if you feel like you're carrying too much, around your abdomen area, you feel like very heavy, it's growing, or it's always expanding excessively, you could also look at your emotions and your, how you're managing your emotions. You can also look at your lifestyle. You can look at your life. Look at, what is your relationship with everybody? Are you carrying a lot of emotional weight? Are you not releasing certain things? Are you not kind of moving on from certain traumas and events, right? Because a lot of times when we're not moving on from certain traumas and we're carrying on so much emotional weight, that weight gets stored in the midsection. Okay, and then that kind of appears as the protruding belly, the belly fat. So this is a very, very important thing I want all of you to take note of, because there are techniques that you can actually learn. I teach that as well, and it's a type of emotional release technique that you can actually perform on yourself, okay, together with a balanced lifestyle, like balanced diet and balanced body movement routine. You can actually release the emotional weight from your abdominal area really, really well, even without doing extra exercise. But of course you gotta eat well, okay, you gotta eat well, but without doing the extra exercise, you are able to release that. Okay, so this is something I want you guys to remember. Okay, this is the third point, right? Your emotional traumas and the emotional energies are actually stored in your abdomen area. Okay, now the fourth point, this one is super, super important. That's why I leave it to the last to talk about, is your sleep. That's right. Are you getting good sleep? Are you getting the optimal number should be 7 to 9 hours. Are you getting 7 to 9 hours of sleep? And I know some of you probably will be rolling eyes again, saying that you talk about sleep all the time. I do, because sleep is really the cornerstone of your health. And too many people in modern days really ignore the importance of sleep, right? And remember I talked about the hierarchy of fat loss and body transformation before. Sleep is your second most important part. First one is nutrition, and second part is sleep, right? So if you're still not managing to improve your sleep right now, this is another sign here, because I brought up sleep again. So how you sleep, your quality of sleep can actually help you manage your stress. And the poorer the quality of your sleep is, the more your body actually accumulates fat storage and accumulates fat around your abdomen area. Believe it or not, that's just the way it is, right? So that is why I always want to emphasize that everyone get good sleep. And when you have good sleep, especially for women, okay, men and women, but especially for women, this is gonna really help you balance your hormones. And when your hormones are balanced, obviously improves your body fat storage, and it improves your mood, it improves your fertility, it improves everything that's going on in your body, right? So sleep, I cannot stress enough. Okay, so remember these 4 points that can really help you manage your belly fat, right? So it's not, I know most of the time people will be thinking about, oh, give me some detox, give me some diet, give me a six-pack ab workout so I can get rid of my belly fat. But the answer is actually not that simple, right? Just by doing a six-pack workout is actually not really gonna help you. Trust me on this, right? You will feel some toning in your abdomen area, but if you don't improve how you nourish your body, if you don't improve the way you eat, if you don't improve the way you manage your stress, manage your emotions, right, your belly fat, you may see some temporary result, right, of feeling toned and everything from the physical workout, but because your emotional energy is still stuck there, because your diet hasn't been changed, it will still be your belly fat will still come back, or not really come back, but it will still not be fully getting rid of. Okay, put it this way, right? You may see temporary result, but it was still the root of all the cause, the root of all of it is still there. So what we're trying to do here is to actually, you know, basing on these 4 fundamental things I just mentioned here today, you want to get rid of the root, right? You want to help yourself really, really, really become healthier and happy and lighter, more confident by, you know, managing your lifestyle. Okay, so that is my, you know, my approach here. My approach is always about taking the balanced approach and managing your lifestyle, managing your body, mind, okay, and, you know, your life. So that's how you can achieve, you know, the optimal health, right? So let me know if anyone has any questions on this topic. I'll be more than happy to talk more about it. All right, so thank you so much for being here, guys.